Hi and welcome everyone to the inaugural game of Super 6 in baseball and softball, a tournament which takes place in Hoofddorp, the Netherlands. And it's, as the name suggests, the inaugural year opens up a tournament of 6 of the best nations in the continent of Europe, which means Great Britain, Greece, Italy, home team Netherlands, Russia and the Czech Republic will all face during this week. They'll play a round robin, which altogether takes 15 games for 6 teams. that will take us all the week through till Friday, and then on Saturday, according to their placement during this round robin, the top 2 teams will play for the first place. Third and fourth will, of course, play for the bronze, and then the 5th and the 6th team will just match up against each other to decide who the top 6 are in Europe for 2018. As you can see, we're opening up with none other than one of the biggest stars of softball in Europe, and that's Greta Cecchetti, the Italian national team's pitcher, who will step on the plate for Squadra Azzurra. And you see her hurling towards Marta Gasparotto, who's the catcher. Introducing the rest of the Italian defense, it's Susanna Zoldi, and playing first base, second baseman Melanie Sheldon, third base Giulia Longhi, shortstop Amanda Fama, and the outfielders from the left, Valeria Bettinsoli, Laura Vigna, and Fabrizia Marrone. All of these Italian players, as you can see them placed on the field, are coached by Mr. Enrico Obleter, a famous Italian softball manager and coach who has placed these players. Here's Greta Cecchetti wearing the face mask, unlike during her previous years. As you can see, safety becoming more and more important in the game of softball as everything becomes faster and therefore more dangerous. Leading up for Team Czech Republic is Veronika Klimova, playing third base today, newly acquired by college in the United States, where she will head right after this tournament. One of the Klimplova sisters, famous duo, this one the more successful sis, and their mother serving as an assistant coach in the staff. She hits the first pitch and it gets away from Amanda Fama, and Veronika Klimplova using her speed to get on first base easily. The first error on the Italian shortstop. Lands the first runner of the game, so one pitch needed to get this far. Now entering the batter's box from the same side as Klimplova is Teresa Yakisheva, her Yoder's teammate. And an attempted steal, but Yakisheva puts it in the air and it gets away from the second baseman. Melanie Sheldon drops on the ground. Veronika Klimplova with a great lead, able to answer to that error by Melanie Sheldon. So 2 errors right away kick off this game, and just like that, Team Czech Republic has 2 runners on bases with nobody out, and Monty van Brunt and Tomáš Kusí, who are the coaches assisting to Wojciech Albrecht, who's the one in the red jacket, are discussing with the team what to do next. Monty van Brunt coaching from the third base spot, as he is the offensive specialist for Team Czech Republic. Tomáš Kusí serving as skipper of defense, as Greta Cecchetti now faces Teresa Kubicova, the designated player, up in the air once again, and the wind playing factor, it drops on the ground, and even the assist towards the infield is botched by the Italian outfielders. So miscommunication, maybe a lot of the wind putting serving as a factor early on in this game. As you can see, probably from the trees behind the fence and the flags of the 6 nations participating in this tournament, as well as the players' jerseys, it's very windy here in the Netherlands, which of course is expected. Bases loaded, nobody out. Greta Cecchetti down the middle for strike number 1. Ludmila Kucherkova, a shortstop. Might know her by a maiden's name, Brokalova. Married another softball player. A fairly successful one from her home team, Kotlaska. a few years back. So now facing the 1-1 pitch, and it drops away from Kucherkova. She tries to hit it, missed it above. So 2 strikes and a ball on Kucherkova. On deck, Adela Vaisova, another big hitter, and a foul ball all the way by the backstop. As you watch Enrico Bletter in the gray shirt, looking very optimistic and positive. Of course, this tournament is this year's biggest event on European soil. Italy finishing up a great year of the women's program as Kucherkova strikes out on this outside off-speed pitch. First out for Italian defense in this game. And Klimova still on third base, Yakesheva on second, and Kubitsova on third. So both hits by Yakesheva and Kubitsova scored officially as singles to right field. Well, you make the judgment yourself. For statistics, it will be considered that. Here's Adela Vaisova, another Joders player in this national team lineup, and misses on this low outside pitch. Great placement by Cecchetti. On deck, another Joders teammate, but also previously teammate in Wojciech Albrecht's project Storms. A team from Prague that ended up getting eliminated from the top level competition in the Czech Republic 2 years ago. That's when Daniel Tobola took over Joders A, and these two players joined the squad and remained in it for another year, as Joders are one of the top 3 teams in the Czech Republic. And of course, you know that Czech Republic missed out on participating this year in the biggest event overall, which was the Women's World Championship in Japan, where Team Italy ended up beating their rival by 1 spot. So Netherlands landed behind Italy, and when you look at this year's women's results in any given competition, it's Italy all the way. Busolengo wins the Premier Cup. Italy wins the Under-19 as well as the Under-22 Women's Championship. Volate won the Cup Winners' Cup. So the only team that came up short from Italy was La Loggia in the European Cup tournament. And now hit by Vaisova towards second baseman Sheldon, and they force out Kubitsova on second, but unable to prevent the score from opening. Klimova crosses home plate for the first run of the game, and the Czechs are in the lead, 1-0. Yakesheva advanced to third on the play, and Vaisova lands on first on fielder's choice. So a great play by Sheldon with Fama, as Prokopenkova swings at the first pitch. Seems to be the strategy by the Czech offensive players in this game. Swinging at Cecchetti's pitches fearlessly. So here's the 0-1 delivery, and another miss. Swing and a miss by Prokopenkova. So she's 2 behind now, and a tough position for the Czech outfielder. 2 away, runners on the corners. As Prokopenkova strikes out, it drops on the ground, and Gasparotto able to make the throw to Zoldi for the third out. So The Czechs not able to benefit that much from having the bases loaded with nobody out, but they draw the first blood and open the score lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first, and we will discover defensive players of Team Czech Republic. The biggest star of the program, Veronika Klimova, will take the proverbial mound. See her sporting number 9 on her national team jersey. Behind the dish, Sabina Borecka, another returning player to the lineup. She's undergone a surgery in her shoulder and has returned slowly but surely, and you see her wearing the national team jersey in the opening game of the Super 6 tournament. Playing first base is Adela Vaisova, wearing number 18. The second baseman is Teresa Yakishova. Third base, Veronika Klimova. The shortstop, Ludmila Kucherkova. And the outfield from the left, Lucia Halakutsova, Aneta Prokopenkova, and Eliška Tomsnova. Here's a visual reference for the Czech defense. Leading up for Team Italia is the outfielder Laura Vigna, wearing number 21. And you see Veronika Klimova reading the instructions as she misses the outside corner with her first pitch. Vigna reads it perfectly. Behind Vigna, you see Amanda Fama, shortstop, Team Italy, as this one drills down the middle for a strike. So an even score, 1-1 on Vigna. And another outside pitch. Misses once again. As Petskova in a little bit of a discussion with Borecka about the placement. See Borecka receiving instructions. And this one now middle, heading towards Yakisheva and able to get the pass in time to Vaisova for the first out. Now the easiest play for a second baseman. Looked like a routine ground ball, but that bounce of the ball was pretty awkward. There's a lot of spin on that. So Amanda Fama taking the first pitch, and it's a strike. A bit of a delay on the call by Thomas Lohnert, who's the home plate umpire for this game. Helping out on first base are Frank Lautier, and on third, Bob Gieskens. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 away. That's the count here in the bottom of the first inning, with the Czechs on top, 1-0. This one nicely spins away from Fama's bat. So strike number 2 on the Italian batter. And she strikes out looking. Stepped away from this pitch. It looked like it was gonna miss above the strike zone, but dropped into it at the last moment, and just like that, 2 up, 2 away after a strikeout, which brings up the designated player for Italia, Enrica Piancastelli. And the favorite spin for Petskova. It's the curve that spins away from the right-handed batter, just like Fama and Piancastelli, who doesn't take the bait on this one. Good job by Piancastelli. Gets the count even, 1-all. Now the delivery by Petskova, and probably missed on the outside corner. The spin is really nasty on these pitches, as I'm sitting right behind the fence here and behind Boretska, and who was unable to react to that curve, and that drops and serves as a second strike. So an even count once again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Petskova winds up for the pitch, and an off-speed pitch gets Piancastelli looking. So 2 strikeouts on Petskova early on, and after first frame of the game, the Czechs able to hit some high fives, and you can see smiles on their faces. They're leading 1-0 against Team Italy. So to present this this tournament, as you see after the first inning, scores 1-0 for the Czechs. There will be 5 games total for every team. Schedule for Team Czech Republic is today Italy, tomorrow 2 games, first against Russia and against Greece. On Thursday they face Great Britain, and on Friday the home team, Netherlands. For Italy, it's also a 2-game day tomorrow, facing Great Britain and the Netherlands, which will be the most anticipated game tomorrow, definitely, between the 2 best teams in the continent. And later on, Russia on Thursday, and finishing up with Greece on Friday. And who knows what will happen on Saturday, who will face who then. Now here's Lucia Halakutsova, left fielder for Team Czech Republic. And takes the first pitch. It's outside for ball number 1. Now, Team Czech Republic has been trying to beat Team Italy for a while. Last time it worked, it was back in 2013. That's over 5 years back in July in Prague during Women's European Championship, as Halakutsova swings at this rise ball and misses. A nice pitch by Cecchetti. 2 balls and a strike. Still pretty much in the batter's favor, and very much so after this low pitch on the inside corner. So 3-1 the count on Halakutsova, and She tries to hit that pitch and able to just get only a piece of the metal on it for a foul ball. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and this one in the middle. A very awkward swing by Halakutseva, but able to defend the zone. Just puts it away into the foul territory so that she can await another pitch by Cecchetti. And it's a drop ball on the outside corner and gets her swinging. So a strikeout for Cecchetti, number 2. Sabina Borecka, who's the 8th batter in the Czech lineup, heading to the batter's box. Now back to my previous topic, where the Czechs beat Italy. It was in 2013. That was still in the preliminary round. Later on in the semifinal, the Czechs got blown by the Italians, and since then have been unable to beat Azzurri on the national level. In Rosmalen in 2015, and also in Bollate last year during the European Championship. They only faced once, though, last year in Italy. It was in the playoffs, but not the semifinal. And a quick visit from Enrico Bletter to Thomas Lohnert to discuss what I can only imagine is something regarding Greta Cecchetti's pitching. And see Mr. Bletter walking up to his pitcher and catcher, to the starting battery of Team Italia, discuss what was bothering the home plate umpire. Here you see Monty van Brunt discussing with Sabina Borecka and Eliška Tomsnova. Both are connected to Eagles, one of the best clubs in the Czech Republic, but they represent different generations. Won't be mentioning any specific numbers, but there is a considerable age difference between these two. But Borecka will definitely try to not let that show, as we're ready to resume. So 1 strike on Borecka, 1 away in the top of the 2nd inning. The first game, as Gasparotto sets up outside and they get Borecka swinging. Once again at the pitch. And outside again they set up and it drops. Sheldon there able to pick it up, but the throw is off target. Soldi unable to grab it from the ground, and it allows Borecka to get on first safely. It's a nice little looper into shallow right field. Sheldon with great agility, able to get there in time, makes the spin, but the throw is a bit off target. And frankly, from where I'm sitting, it looked a bit late anyway. Borecka, a quick runner, as Eliška Tomsnova, the right fielder in this game, is the last of the Czech batters who still haven't faced Cecchetti sets up for a bunt, and it is grabbed by Cecchetti. So a popped up bunt. And the attempt was unsuccessful. Borecka had to rush back towards first so she wouldn't be caught off guard. So with two away and a runner on first, it's from the top of the lineup, Veronika Klimova. And she slices it into shallow left field, where with great difficulty Valeria Bettinsoli is just trying to recover that ball. And first it looked like she misread the direction and then slipped or stumbled. She was heading towards the ball. Watch number 25, that was Sheldon, the second baseman. So Klimplova on first after a single into left field. And Teresa Yakishova with an unusual number 89 on her back. She usually picks number 88, but she wasn't part of the national team when these new jerseys were getting printed. That's why her favorite number wasn't ordered. And this is as close as it gets. A double steal by the Czechs, and the throw is on target to Fama, but she's just trying to corral the ball as behind her back Borecka slides towards third. So a double steal by the Czechs puts both of their runners into scoring position, and Yakishova with a strike and two away takes the second pitch, slow and inside for ball number one, an even count, 1-1. And Yakishova she is the batter you'd like to be in the box in this situation. A very effective player. Swing and a miss. This pitch. So the rise ball gets her swinging. 2 strikes and a ball on Yakishova. And another rise ball gets her swinging, so Czechs leave the 2 runners stranded, unable to capitalize on this. On a couple of miscues once again by the Italian defense. However, they seem to be on top after 1.5 innings. Great defense by Team Italy to prevent more runs from scoring in the top of the second inning. But a lot of grit shown by the Czech offense, especially during that double steal. As you see, Petskova warming up for inning number 2. She only had to face 3 batters in her first visit to the circle. 2 of those were strikeouts, and the 4th batter in the lineup is the catcher of the Italian team, Marta Gasparotto. One of the rising stars of Italy, and a solid member of this promising generation of Azzurri players. She is also a 2 times Premier Cup winner consecutively, last year in Haarlem in the Netherlands, and this year in Forli. Bussolengo, her team, able to defend that championship title in the Premier Cup. Gasparotto falls behind, 2 strikes on the young catcher. And strikes out on this drop ball by Petskova. Only 3 pitches needed for the Czech player, who is traveling a lot with this sport, just like many players do, but she played professionally in Taiwan, in New Zealand, of course, still helping out her home team from a very, very small town. Most people would call it a village. I try not to disappoint any of the locals there. But it's a very tiny town in southern Bohemia, about 2 hours away from Prague, where she grew up, and their program is just incredible. They have been able to go all the way from a very obscure sport in this remote area of the Czech Republic, as this is drilled down the middle, and Prokopenkova with a diving catch makes this and saves so far the perfect score of Petskova. It was slicing away towards the right field, and Prokopenkova had to hustle, and that diving stop was just incredible to watch. 2 away, and the first baseman of Team Italy at bat, Susanna Soldi, shows bunt. It's a speedy lefty, so the Czech defense is playing it close. You can see both Jakishova and Kucherkova drawn in, as they expect nothing else than short game from Susanna Soldi, who takes the second pitch, and it misses above the zone. And that is through the strike zone. Is that curve this time into the left-handed batter. And Petskova ahead with 2 strikes and 1 ball. And this off-speed pitch lands in the strike zone, and Soldi just observes it without a reaction. So after 2 innings of play, we saw a few errors. We saw 1 run that scored, and that is the difference on the scoreboard at the moment. 1-0 for the Czechs after 2 innings of play. We'll be right back with the 3rd inning action. Welcome back for the 3rd inning of this game. The Czechs, again, will head to the batter's box as they take the offensive stance in the first pitch swing by Teresa Kubicova. She was forced out on second base in her first appearance after Kucherkova, who follows her in the lineup, hit into fielder's choice as this rise ball gets her swinging. for strike number 2. She got on base with a single into right field. The sun may be playing some role in that. In both of these sort of errors. Scored a single as the Czechs loaded the bases and just a slow roller towards Melanie Sheldon, and with no trouble puts her out. So a 4-3 ground out for Kubicova, which means Kucherkova, the shortstop. Definitely not short. She is one of the tallest players of the Czech lineup. Takes the first pitch and it hits the dirt just behind the home plate. So ball number 1. So Kucherkova playing for Kotlashka takes the second pitch and it's down the middle for strike number 1. Her batting average is 366 in the Czech league. She is one of the best in her team. She had 9 extra base hits, and this rolls towards Fama, shortstop. And unlike in the first inning, Italian defense now able to make these routine plays. As you see, Kucherkova discussing probably pitch choice, or which pitch she chose to swing at. After that ground out by Fama. That brings up Adela Vaisova, who was actually the one hitting into fielder's choice her first time up. Kucherkova struck out her first plate appearance. Now Vaisova facing a 2-strike pitch, and it's way outside. Of course, the Italian defense, or the battery there, the Gasparotto, able to work with that zone a bit more, as the 2 strikes give him a lot of leeway. Ball number 2, this one missed up and out. If you pick up some of the noise from the airplane engines, it's because Hoofddorp is located right next to Schiphol Airport, the nation's capital of Amsterdam. So the count is full now, 2 away, and Vaisova hits it towards her team's dugout. Now Frank Cloutier checking the ball for any possible damage. This toss towards Cicchetti gets away from her. So short moment. Where she maybe got out of focus, but able to concentrate once again on the last pitch. Down the middle for strike number 3, and with a 1-2-3 inning, Italy will head back into the offense for the bottom of the 3rd. Just what their team needed, as we're 1/3 into the game. It's the first 1-2-3 inning for Italia. Whereas on the opposite side of the field, where you see the Czechs already getting ready for their time in defense so far. Veronika Klimova able to hold these Italian batters short, and they are just missing out. 2 strikeouts in the first inning, 2 strikeouts in the second. A routine ground ball to second baseman in the first by Laura Vigna, and then that great diving catch by Prokopenkova. Those are the stories of the 6 batters who have faced Petskova so far. Now she's getting ready for Melanie Sheldon. The second baseman swings out the first pitch, misses as it drops on the outside corner. Sheldon already very busy in this game. And she shows bunt, tries to retract, but too late. And it catches the tip of the bat, so foul ball means 2 strikes on Sheldon. Melanie Sheldon attends Chipola College in Florida. An interesting trivia information is that a notable alumni of this college is Jose Bautista, the MLB player. Currently playing with the Philadelphia Phillies. Last year, spent some time with the Mets. A foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Sheldon able to stay in there. And Klimova with an easy out on third. That brings up the left fielder Valeria Bettinsoli. Who had the opportunity to get her hand on the ball in inning number 2, where Klimova, the third baseman, sliced the ball into shallow left field. Now quickly with 2 strikes. Left fielder number 23. There's a 0-2 pitch, and the drop ball works on Bettinsoli again for another strikeout. The total now mean 5 out of 8 batters faced. It just shows how the Czech team relies on the main star. Is Fabrizia Marone, and towards Kucherkova, who makes the throw in time, but great attempt by Marone, who drew the corners in by showing the bunt, but a short quick swing could have surprised Czech defense, who were not caught off guard. And that means after complete 3 innings of play, the Czechs are still up 1-0. And we are We're awaiting what the Czech batters will now try. We're starting with the number 6 in the lineup, Aneta Prokopenkova, who struck out her first time up. On deck, Lucia Halakutseva also struck out. And then Sabina Borecka, who singled into shallow right field. Which you saw in one of the highlights as well. So here's the lefty, Prokopenkova. Swings at that inside pitch. Prokopenkova with a .406 batting average this year. With four extra base hits. Make that 5 actually for 4 doubles. She had no triples, but a home run. And swings at this pitch as well. The Czechs, especially Tomáš Kusy, loudly expressing their disapproval of the umpire's decision, but it looked very clear from this vantage point that Prokopenkova attempted to get that ball. Either way, a strikeout is called, and Halakutseva with 1 ball, no strikes. It drops in the zone, 1-1. Right, some last minute, the last moment rather. Words from Monty van Brunt. And down the middle, but off speed. Cecchetti working with that. The quickness of her pitches, and it just works. And caught the outside corner. Halakutseva just has to put her. But nothing else to do than just agree with Thomas Lohnert. Great pitch by Cecchetti. And here's Borecka. First pitch misses on the inside. And this time looked like it was down the middle and fouled by Borecka on the third base side. Gasparotto ran up to Cecchetti for a quick word. Thomas Lohnert hesitated for no second and just headed up towards the circle to break up this little chat. And Cecchetti now ready to deliver the 1-1 pitch towards Borecka and drops in the dirt. Good eye by the Czech catcher. Middle up in the air, and it's somewhere between Sheldon and Vinya, who's the one who makes the catch on the run to end this inning. So after 4 straight 1, 2, 3 innings, that means with 3 batters up, 3 were down. See a very tight game. which we're halfway through. Yeah, 3.5 innings. So we're halfway through. The home team, Italy, well, the designated home team, Italy, will get their 4th attempt in offense. As soon as the Czechs are ready, Borecka, being the last batter, to take some time to put all that gear. And see, everything is ready for the evening games as well. There are 3 games scheduled today. On the remaining days, Tuesday through Friday, we'll have 4 games per day. And then on Saturday, of course, with 6 teams, we only have 3 games once again. So overall, 18 live streams as Petskova spins this one towards the outside corner. And enter the zone from the outside. Perfect placement, and also framing by Borecka. First strike on Laura Vigna. Make that 2 strikes on the Italian outfielder. She is one of the few Italian players who have been able to hit the ball in the play, and puts it in play once again. This time it'll be a single into right field, and she heads for second. Now stopped there by the coaches, and a great double just over the head of Yakisheva, and between the center fielder Prokopenkova and the right fielder Tomsnova. See a speedy runner. Now with nobody out and a runner, a potentially tying run in scoring position. And this seems to be an interesting time in the game, as Amanda Fama, one of the strongest batters in this Italian lineup, heads into the box. So Laura Vigna tied her cleats as Fama misses with that bunt attempt. Another long sign by the third base coach, Team Italy. Now basically they have 2 options. They have a strong part of the lineup coming up, and a hit by Fama, but it just lands about 2 feet away from the line on the foul side. So all the commotion may cease now. Fama with 2 strikes, so the Czech corners able to retract back towards their bases, as they definitely don't expect a bunt now. And a swing and a miss. A throw towards first will get Fama out, but they're able to actually move the runner up a base. So Vigna now only 1 base away from tying this game, and with 1 away, they have Erika Piancastelli at bat. So a dropped strikeout, or well, it landed in the dirt, and Wojciech Albrecht, you see that throw towards first by Borecka after Fama swung and missed. So a strikeout moves the runner. So probably the results the Italian team was looking for when they first wanted Fama to bunt the ball and sacrifice herself just get the runner closer towards tying the game. Erika Biancastelli with a strikeout in this game, the designated player for Team Italy now. The drop ball misses the zone. Ball number 1. Now we see the lineup of Team Italy. Following Biancastelli is Gasparotto and then Giulia Longhi. As Biancastelli with a massive swing at this pitch. And once again, it's that curve that got away from this right-handed batter. 1 ball and a strike. That's the count. Outfield was drawn in as this one is over the backfield fence and somewhere into Hoofddorp Pioneers venue, which is one of the nicest ballparks you can find in Europe. Built originally with the idea of major league games taking place here. I'm pretty sure all of you baseball followers says another strikeout lands on the ground and the runner goes and Italy ties it on this dropped strikeout. So a very aggressive base running by Team Italy lands them to tie. So another dropped strikeout, just like with Fama, and Laura Vigna is headed towards home plate. See, the ball is dropped, and behind a very delayed run by Vigna too. Well, a tie game now, 2 away, and Marta Gasparotto with a 0-1 count. Shows bunt. Able to stay off that pitch and gets the count even. Now from a defensive point of view, that's basically a botched play, or consecutively 2 botched plays. You get your pitcher to strike out the batter, but then the rest of defense unable to prevent the run from scoring. Here's Gasparotto with a 1-2 pitch. Once again, rolls away out of Borecka's mitt. Two and two. Up in the air. It's Kucherkova who calls it and makes the catch right by second base. And that ends this inning in which Team Italy tied the game. And despite the fact that Petskova had 2 more strikeouts. Here's the last play. Gasparotto flying out to Kucherkova, the shortstop. But the Czechs just couldn't take advantage of the strength of their pitching. And those were 2 costly dropped strikeouts, especially the second one with Vigna stealing home on delayed. So Melody Sheldon will stay in the dugout as she is taken out of the game. And trying to find who the replacement is as you watch the what I mentioned before, the closeness of this airfield. It's Alessandra Rotondo who will replace Melanie Sheldon at second base. So far, that's the only change. The only change we've seen. And makes an error on her first play. That's an unfortunate entry into the game by Rotondo, as Eliška Tomsnova skied it, and the hang time on that hit was enough for her to get safely into first. Once again scored a single. Right field. So here's Klimova, a ground ball towards the second base, and Rotondo once again in play, and this time forces out Tomsnova. A nice play by Rotondo, shows her range, and on the run, grabs the ball, steps on the bag, and forces out number 28. You see in the Czech dugout, and here's Klimova, the fielder's choice. On first, a steal, which will be, so ball is dead, runner left early, and that'll be a costly mistake. So here's Yakisheva once again. Like I said, the ball is dead, so the result of the play, of course, can't be runner on first. So with Klimova leaving early, Yakisheva with an empty count, of course. No pitch is good into play, and this one is in play as Yakisheva hit that ball towards the first baseman Zolti, who knocked it out of the fair territory all the way to the to the dugout of the Czechs. And Yakisheva taking advantage of her speed and runs easily towards first. So runner on first, 2 away, and Teresa Kubicova at bat, foul ball. As you probably noticed that Yakisheva was once again stealing. And another steal attempt. The throw is off target by Gasparotto and gets away from Fama all the way to Viña in center field, but not far enough for Yakisheva to advance another base. So runner in scoring position for the Czechs as they will try to get that lead back. They held it for 4 innings. Well, 3 innings, and in the 4th inning they lost that lead. Swing called on Kubicova. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Whitey Halberg just double checking with Leonard whether that was for the swing or the zone. I can only assume. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Kubicova at bat, and Yakisheva, you see behind the Cecchetti on second. She strikes out looking, and that's the end of top half of the 5th inning, where the Czechs, well, we saw interesting things. First, Tomsnova introduced Rotondo into the game, and then got forced out at second as Klimova hit on the fielder's choice, and then she left early. Yakisheva ended up on second. However, Kubitsova, the designated player for the Czechs, went down looking. Petskova all warmed up. So is Giulia Longhi, batter for Team Italy. The third baseman had that nice little hit towards center field her first time up, which was caught by Prokopenkova. As you take another look at that attempt by Gasparotto to catch Yakisheva stealing, as the first pitch towards Longhi almost hits her on the ankles, drops in the dirt, and counts as a ball. So a ball, no strikes. And Longhi at bat. This inside pitch misses. So ball number 2. Here's Petskova. Gonna wind up. And this time through the zone for strike number 1. Petskova in her home club, Sharks Ledenice, also on the offense, picks up the bat regularly, the 216, and this time Giulia Longhi really wanting that ball 4, or ball 3, sorry, but was surprised by the strike being called by Mr. Lohnert. So she took a little moment to focus once again. Swings at this one. It's slowly bouncing towards Vaisova. Caught right on the 3-foot line. Of course, outside of the fair territory. So foul ball means Longhi is once again in the batter's box. The delivery, and it's hit towards the outfield once again between Halakutsova and Prokopenkova. Halakutsova picks up the ball, throws it towards Yakisheva at second base. So Giulia Longhi with a single becomes the second Italian player of this game with a hit. And once again, it was a very hard hit, just like in her first plate appearance back in second inning. I mentioned it a few times, but when you look at the highlights, you'll definitely see Prokopenkova's dive. Here's Longhi considering running for second, but Halakutsova is there in time. Now Borecka would like the ball replaced for Petskova. Susanna Soli, the first baseman, struck out her first time up. Shows bunt. It's popped up in the air, but it will hit the fence off the backfield. backstop before anybody is able to put her out. We can expect another attempt of a bunt with the runner on first and nobody out by Team Italy. A bunt is shown, but as the ball drops out of the zone, Soldi able to take that pitch as a ball. When the mics pick up a series of numbers, as this time it wasn't popped up, but ends up as a foul ball as well. I believe it hit the umpire on the shin guard. So 2 strikes. Corner still playing it close and in. Two balls, 2 strikes. So this was intentionally out of zone, of course. The so-called pitch out where you expect a steal, as this is through the zone, and Soldi strikes out for the second time up. And here is Alessandra Rotondo. Rotondo, who replaced Sheldon in the in the previous inning. Had her first contact with the ball. Not so successful, and a steal attempt. The throw is in time, on target, and Chiara Bassi, the pinch runner, is tagged out by Kucherkova. So perfect execution by the Czech defense, especially Borecka with the throw right on target, and Chiara Bassi with no chance, and Petskova can run straight towards the dugout, as she is the one who makes that play. So second runner for Team Italy is caught stealing, and that was Giulia Longhi's hit, and Chiara Bassi pinch ran for her. Susanna Soldi strikes out, and the third batter up was Alessandra Rotondo with the 1-3 ground out towards Petskova. So far, she has 8 strikeouts after 5 innings of play. And she only faced 16 batters in those 5 innings. Just goes to show how important Petskova is for the Czech defense, but it also shows how effective Italian offense was during that fourth inning hustle, as they tied this game 1-0, and we're heading into the 6th inning. So a game progressing rather quickly after just over 70 minutes of play. Down by, or we are through 6 innings. However, a tie game, and this could take a long time. And this jumps over or bounces over the pitcher, Cecchetti, and neither Longhi nor Fama were able to get behind their hurler in time. So Kucherkova, who's not one of the fastest runners, but still able to get there in time, as Longhi, of course, decided not to throw that ball towards first base. That brings up Adela Vaisova, the first baseman, after that single towards the pitcher by Kucherkova. And successful sacrifice bunt. But here's Tomáš Kusí, who is now walking towards Frank Lautier. And they are discussing the base, probably, on which Susanna Soldi or probably was Alessandra Rotondo, on which base she stepped on which bag. So for now, Vaisova is standing ostentatively on first base as the three men in blue have a discussion about what the result is, and they call it safe. Yeah, fielder was off the base. Enrico Bletter now talking to Thomas Lohnert and calls Frank Lautier once again, as well as Bob Gieskens, for another talk. Now it's one-on-one Enrico Bletter with Frank Lautier, as the Czech coaching staff by the home plate is discussing their options. So Vaisova on first, Kucherkova on second after sacrifice bunt without the sacrifice earns the Czechs 2 runners. Officially, the error is scored on the pitcher as a throwing error, which took Rotondo off of first base. And here's Prokopenkova, runners on second and first. Mind you, not the quickest of runners. Prokopenkova puts it up in the air. A foul ball. Strike number 1. So a test of Italian defense once again. They have faced very tough situations in this game so far. And Prokopenkova at the last minute puts the bat on the ball, almost like a as if she was coached to do so, and strikes out swinging. So unsuccessful attempt, and Italy holds up. Out number 1. Here is Lucie Halakutseva. When the professional team USSA Pride was in Prague, now hits it towards the outfield on the ground, and Kucherkova will around the bases for leading run for the Czechs. Halakutseva delivers. I was going to mention her grand slam against the professional team from NPF, USSA Pride, but little did I know that right at that moment she was about to put the Czechs in the lead. They have now runners on the corners. Vaisova on third, Halakutseva on first. And here is Borecka. And drills it towards the first baseman, Soldi. The third run will cross the plate, and Halakutseva heads for third. They have Borecka caught between the bases, but she is able to return back to first in time. Runners on the corners once again, and run number 3 scored for the Czechs, but this was a bullet sent towards the first baseman, Soldi, who is I guess he was just glad she could put the glove in time on that ball before it hit her in the face. To be honest, looked pretty scary at that moment, and it was just hit so well towards the right field, and when it bounced off of her glove, it landed in no man's land. And after Kucherkova scored on Halakutsova's hit, which we watched now in that highlight, Sabina Borecka delivers, and Vaisova scored for run number 3. Halakutsova on third, Borecka on first. Both very, very good runners, aggressive and quick. Can Eliška Tomsnova make something out of this? They only have one away, and Team Italy now under pressure. They pitch out, and that is in time. They managed to get Borecka, catch her off guard as she was just slowly trotting towards first rather than sprinting towards and dashing to and the throw by Gasparotto to Soldi was spot on. And this is a strike, so 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 away. Runner still in scoring position. That's Halakutsova on third, after Borecka got picked off. So ball called on the inside corner. And the outside pitch swung at by Tomsnova. So the right fielder of the Czech team takes this rise ball. This is just above the strike zone. And that gets the count full. Here is the focused Cecchetti. The drop ball. Foul out of play by Tomsnova. And this will earn another runner for the Czechs. So Tomsnova, base on balls. First base on balls in this game overall. And after that, we'll see a pitching change in Team Italy. Cecchetti giving up the ball for Alice Nicolini. Alice Nicolini wearing number 5, and see that for the batters it'll be a big difference in the height of their opponent, as Alice Nicolini is about 2 feet shorter than Greta Cecchetti. So Alice Nicolini from Bulate plays for Saronno, If any of you are familiar with the area of the northern part of Milano, there are many clubs in that area, Saronno being one of them. So Michelini, a Italian national team regular. So lefty now starts off with the pitch out. So they were expecting something complex from the Czech offense. Two away runners on the corners. Down the middle, Klimova takes the bait and misses with her swing. And the rise ball gets Klimova swinging. 2 strikes and a ball. The young Czech player. Close study of Tomsnova's cleats. There's a quick talk with Wojciech Albrecht by the first base. In the meantime, Klimova was called by Monty van Brunt for a quick word. This time the rise ball misses way upstairs. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. And Klimova strikes out. That'll end the top half of the 6th inning, which was the longest inning or half inning so far in this game. And the Czechs were able to get back in the lead, this time make it a 2-run game. And heading into the bottom of the 6th, Team Italy will have to work a bit harder to get back in this. As we look at some of the highlights, here's Halakutsova. That was the go-ahead run. Go-ahead run that brought Kucherkova home. And then another hit. That was the bullet by Boretska towards Soldi, first baseman, that batted in another run. So bottom of the 6th. And we see Elisa Princic instead of Valeria Bettinsoli. Not sure at the moment whether she'll replace Bettinsoli in left field as well. Starts out with 2 strikes. And fouled out of play. And the strikeout is dropped. Boretska hustles to get the ball in time and makes the throw to her first baseman Vaisova to get Princic out. That brings up Fabrizia Marrone. Fabrizia Marrone grounded out to Kucherkova. Back in 3rd, which is her only appearance in this game so far. Offensively saying. First pitch, a strike. And the second one misses on the upper part of the strike zone. So a swing called. Bricia Marone, another member of the winning squad from Bussolengo. And swings at this one, another drop strike, and the throw once again is in time. Just a little pass over the head of Marone from Borecka. And two strikeouts in the bottom of the sixth are very costly for Team Italy. They would definitely need at least a run would help. Because it took them 4 innings to get that one run in against a strong Petskova, who's just dominating in this game. Laura Vigna for the third time has a ground out and the double. She was the only run of Team Italy so far. Now she has 2 strikes. Hit towards Klimova. It's a fair ball and throw across the diamond from Klimova to Vaisova. Will retire the side. 6 complete innings of play are through. The Czechs are on top 3-1 as you watch Vigna grounding out to Klimplova. That means the Czechs will have a chance to increase their lead. So a tied score remained for one inning only, and that was inning number 5 as the Azzurri tied in the 4th, and then Czechs took the lead back in the 6th. So here is the Italian infield, missing Marta Gasparotto. Missing Greta Cecchetti. Gasparotto, of course, still the catcher for Team Italy. It's a very nice day here. You see only a few clouds in the sky. The wind definitely making it feel a lot colder than it would generally be. Here's Teresa Yakishova. As a single and has 2 singles and a strikeout this game. So she's 2 for 3 with a stolen base. Takes this rise ball up. So very smart decision from Yakishova to hold off that pitch. This time she should have swung as it hits the outside corner of the strike zone. Nicolini with the second strikeout. So far, 2 up, 2 down. Eliška Stejskalova will pinch hit for Team Czech Republic. So her national team debut, I believe. First pitch is on the ground. Way up out of here and draws back onto the third base coach. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Stejskalova. Her stats this year are impressive, and Kunovice, other Czech team, her batting average was .462. This time she strikes out. That means for Nicolini, 3 batters up and 3 strikeouts. With the lefty. Able to eliminate the Czech batters. Were able to put the ball in play against Cecchetti, which is something that they're maybe not that used to. If not the Czech batters, and definitely not the Italian defense. And you saw the result. So 3-1 still in the top of the 7th inning. 2 away for Italia. And Ludmila Kucherkova. Bad one. Sorry, 2 balls and a strike, and it's hit into deep left field. Drops in the fair territory. Kucherkova will hold at second. And a double for Ludmila. Will put runner in scoring position for the Czechs. We'll take another look. Here's the swing, and you just see she hit the sweet spot. And casually jogged towards second base. She knew she wasn't going to get third anyway, so why waste the energy? Here's Adela Vaisova, already with a strike on the count. 2 away, and there was an unsuccessful steal attempt as Kucherkova is tagged by the third baseman Longi. Wonder what went wrong in that situation as Kucherkova left towards third, and everyone else looked surprised. So caught stealing between second and third. Kucherkova heads to the dugout to grab her glove. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It's been an interesting game. The Czechs loaded up the bases early. They were able to only get 1 run from that situation. You still see players immediately in a good mood, which is great. It's what matters the most. It's what they originally started playing the sport for anyway. Here's Veronika Klimova. It appears as though she will pitch a complete game. Facing Amanda Fama. She has 2 strikeouts in this game. And I'm sure she would love to help her team get back in the game. Calls for a timeout. Hit towards the gap between Yakashova and Vaisova, between second and first. Throw from Eliška Tomsova was over the head of Vaisova, but Borecka with a great backup there. Almost caught Fama off guard, but exactly what Italia needed. The first batter to get on the base. And it was without a doubt a very nice hit by Fama, as Albrecht and Kusi, the coaches, check team and defense respectively. You see that first reaction of Fama to run towards second, but still able to reconsider and return back to first in time before that throw from Borecka made it to Vaisova's glove. If not from all that noise, I'm sure those those hairdos flying around, flailing around in that wind, or those trees in the back are helping you recognize that it is very windy here in Hoofddorp, as the first pitch to Erika Piancastelli is a strike. Bottom half of the strike zone. This time was that curve. Piancastelli able to get a piece of it, but not enough to put the ball in play. A foul ball, strike number 2. 0-2 the count on Erika. As both Petskova and Borecka are listening to Wojciech Albrecht making the calls for the pitches with a series of numbers. They're going to check for the swing, but Frank Lautier confirms Thomas Lohnert's call. A ball and 2 strikes as Amanda Fama advanced to second on that pass ball. Batted towards the third base, and Fama will head home. The throw is towards second base because Halakutseva knew she had no chance of catching Fama at home, and this ground ball in the 6-5 hole between Kucherkova and Klimova not only gets Italy closer to tying the game, but also the game-winning point. The runner is at the plate, and it's Marta Gasparotto, the catcher. Shows bunt up in the air and in the backstop. So foul ball. Nobody out, so Italy with a lot of room to play with. Piancastelli on first. Gasparotto with 1 strike. She struck out her first time up, grounded out. A flied out to Kucherkova in the 5th, in the 4th inning, and now she has a ball and a strike. You can probably expect Team Italy to sacrifice one of the players to get the tying run home. So, swing and a miss. Trying out something inventive. She tried to surprise Czech defense. Now with 1 ball and 2 strikes. See both Klimova and Vaisova, the corners further back. And the swing and the throw to first base. Not in time. Gasparotto strikes out as Biancastelli safely on first. The pickoff attempt was unsuccessful. Now Frank Lautier cleaning up the bags for Biancastelli. Julia Longhi was caught stealing by Borecka last time up after she hit that ball towards into the left field towards Halakutseva. First ball. Here's Biancastelli. And a pitch out by Petskova. As the Czech defense was anticipating a steal. Could even pick it up from the dugout as the head coach, or sorry, not the head coach, but the defensive coach, Tomáš Kusy, shouting out to his players. 2-0. Petskova under a bit of a pressure, swing and a miss by Longhi. Nice work by Borecka as well on that drop ball. 2-1 is the count. 2-3 is the score. As the tying run is on first with 1 away. Check swing, and it's called strike. As Longhi once again asks for a short time off to recuperate. Now back in the batter's box with a 2-2 count. And the rise ball gets her, and Biancastelli will land on second. She survived this, what I would call a bit of a miscue, but maybe from another point of view, you could call it a aggressive base running by Veronika Biancastelli. Here's the slag. That throw was way off target. Now 2 away, tying run at the plate. Tying run on second after Biancastelli stole second base. Susanna Soldi, the first baseman, with 2 away. You can see the whole outfield playing it very close, so they could throw, they could make the throw to home plate and defend this 1-run lead for the Czechs. A ball and a strike on Soldi. She struck out twice in this game so far, and swing and a miss. Gets Italy down to their last strike. A time called by Italy's first base coach, who will have a word. Sorry, third base coach, who will have a quick word with Soldi. Now a lot of pressure, of course, on the batter at that moment. Of course, the result of the game is a result of the whole team effort during the, what we can now call them, 7 innings, or even more in some cases. But it comes down to this, and a swing and a miss. The Czechs win the opening game of the Super 6 tournament. They beat their rival Italy 3-2 in a nail-biter. A very interesting game, a tie game, which is what we all came for here this week. Italy only able to tie the game in the bottom of the 4th and then get closer in the bottom of the 7th, but a very dramatic game to start of this tournament. Veronika Klimova, the winning pitcher, closes the 7th inning with 3 consecutive strikeouts. Overall, she had 13 strikeouts. So off the 21 outs overall, 13 were the direct result of Veronika Klimova pitching. That means over 60% of the work is done by Klimova. So for the first time since July 2013, Czech Republic beats Italy 3-2, and that is the final score, and it's a promising start of this tournament. Great Britain versus Greece is next up in just around 40 minutes at 3:30 local time. And then the last game of the day, Russia, Netherlands at 6 p.m. Stay tuned for more. 1 down, 17 to go. Thank you for watching this Playo.tv presentation of Super 6 Baseball and Softball.